Shuliak stuck by Epstein to the end and was the only person to receive phone calls from him while he was in jail. The first call was on July 30th, 2019. The second was made the night before his suicide. Epstein told guards he was calling his mother, who'd been dead for years, when he actually called Shuliak. The second person who likely benefits from Epstein's estate is his brother Mark. Though this remains unverified, the fact that Mark Epstein had at least one business with his late brother and that he offered his condo as collateral for Epstein's bail point to the fact that the siblings were on good terms. In addition, there may be a number of other mystery beneficiaries. In 2019, the St. Thomas Source, a local Caribbean newspaper based just across from Epstein's private island, reported that Epstein's will alluded to additional beneficiaries who could stake their claims after his death. But these beneficiaries will have to fight Epstein's victims, many of whom received payment from a scheme called the Epstein Victims Compensation Program. The program distributed around $125 million to his accusers, but many have claimed it isn't enough.
I was 16.
I was 16.
I started going to him when I was like 14 turning 15.
Moreover, trust and estate experts point out that the fund was a clever tactic meant to shield Epstein's estate from future lawsuits. The victims who didn't agree to the remuneration set forth by the program are pursuing civil litigation. But even when all the legal issues are sorted out, there remains one last hurdle: how to get to Epstein's money. According to The Guardian, 48 hours before his suicide, Epstein drafted the will that divided up most of his wealth into trust funds. This makes it much more difficult for victims to access their due and necessitates the use of tax lawyers with sizable fees. And there's more. Throughout his life, Epstein hid his wealth in offshore accounts and shell corporations, so it's likely that much of his fortune will never be found.
Once again, he had, managed to escape any kind of accountability.
Then there's the fact that he was able to make a new will in his final days. Critics have slammed Epstein's lawyers and the New York prison system, since the act of drafting a new will is often a sign of a pending suicide attempt. And finally, Epstein's suicide leaves the door open for lawyers to argue that he wasn't of sound mind when making the new will, which would ultimately void the trusts and make it